Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian Taylor and welcome to another comparison video. So I really enjoyed the video I did on business cards, and if you guys would like to see that, click the little eye icon that's going to be in the corner there, and I just wanted to do something like it again with another thing that I happen to know quite a bit about. So today I'm going to be comparing several different domain registrars. So you might be asking yourself, where do I buy a domain? I want to get something like yourdomain.com or yourdomain.net, but I just don't know where to start. There's so many options and it's overwhelming. So we're going to start with GoDaddy. Now some key points on GoDaddy is that they are the largest registrar in the world. They're extremely expensive. They have a tendency to upsell a ridiculous amount, and they do have really good live phone support. So really the only thing going for them here is the phone support. I will say I was impressed with it. They were always very helpful, very polite when I called. I purposely kind of asked some stupid questions like, how do I change the name servers on my domain? And they walked me through it, button for button. So they were very good with support, but everything else, extremely stupid amount of upselling. I'll show you guys the screen recording. You've got to be careful if you buy from them because you are going to get charged extra for something you didn't even know was in your cart if you're not very careful. So would I recommend them? No, due to their price and their extreme upselling, I would not recommend them. Alright, let's talk about Namecheap. So Namecheap has a very simple and easy to use interface, and they're kind of your one-stop shop for everything. They offer domains, hosting, SSL certificates, lots of different things, and I've used them for a wide variety of products. Now they are not the cheapest for .com and .net, and they do still upsell just a little bit, but they're not quite as forceful or obnoxious as GoDaddy. And they do have some of the cheapest deals on some TLDs such as .ch and kind of the more obscure ones, but they do offer a lot of TLDs and some of them are really cheap like I said. And I do like that they have live 24/7 chat support. Just do note that sometimes it can be a bit slow. I think their support team is a bit understaffed. Sometimes I asked for help and would be waiting there for 10 or 20 minutes saying, okay, I still haven't gotten a response from my inquiry, so just keep that in mind. So would I recommend them? Yes, but not for .com or .net. There's cheaper options out there, but if they are cheapest for your TLD, I say go for it. They're a solid registrar and I can recommend them. Alright, so let's talk about Namesilho. So Namesilho has some of the cheapest prices on a lot of TLDs, including .com and .net. They have no upselling, and they offer free whois protection on every domain. So there's a lot going for them. If you're just looking for the cheapest price and the best value, Namesilho is who you're going to want to go with. But just a word of warning, that cheap price does come with the sacrifice. Their user interface and panel is very crappy and outdated. So it looks straight out of 2000, maybe 2005, but the point is you're not going to get clean, elegant, simple graphics or controls. It's just kind of clunky and old. So would I recommend them? Yes, but only if you're looking for the absolute cheapest game in town. Okay, let's talk about Uniregistry. Now Uniregistry kind of has a happy medium on pricing and the interface. So they're a little bit more expensive than Namesilho. Their .com domain retails at $10.88, where Namesilho is $8.99. However, if you use their Top Coin rewards program, which is free for everyone to join, you can get .com domains for $9.25. So it's a 26-cent pricing difference, and the difference in the panel is like night and day. I really like Uniregistry because, like I said, they've got reasonable prices, and they even have a really nice smartphone app for iOS and Android. One thing I do want to note is that unlike all of the other registrars on this list, except for GoDaddy, they do not offer email forwarding. So them and GoDaddy don't offer it. GoDaddy, I think it's because they're trying to upsell their email hosting. Now, as far as Uniregistry, I think they just didn't really think to add that feature because they don't offer hosting. I'm not exactly sure why they're not offering email forwarding, but hopefully that's something they'll add in the future. So would I recommend it? Yes, I love Uniregistry. I've used them many times and I would recommend them. All right, moving on, we're gonna talk about Epic. Now, Epic has a very nice panel, free WHOIS protection, and okay support. So I found with them that, things look promising, the prices are okay, panel is really nice, but with their support, it's just kind of not there. They don't even have a Twitter account that you can really tweet to. Their live chat, it said it was online, but I asked for some basic help and it took them literal hours to respond. At one point, I even emailed them and it opened a ticket, and that was somewhat reasonable. They replied within about an hour, but it still was not the most impressive support I've seen. And there's really, it just puts them in an awkward position because, I've seen better registrars at cheaper prices. So there's nothing extremely wrong with Epic, but unfortunately I cannot recommend them because there's just not enough benefit to going with them. All right, it's time to talk about Dinahdot. Now, with Dinahdot, checkout was an absolute pain. I kept running into problems. There was like a $3 minimum. I was trying to buy one of their cheap promotional domains, and it said I needed at least $3 in the cart. So I'm like, all right, I sucked it up. I added a domain to my cart that was $3, and I still kept running into issues. It took me about 3 or 4 tries before I was actually able to check out. Once I did check out, I noticed that their panel is kind of an eyesore. It's a little bit unintuitive and ugly. Now, I do want to give a shout out to their support as they have done a fantastic job. Their live chat was basically instant for the questions I asked. They offer phone support, and they do seem like a very nice company to work with if you've got a lot of questions or needs, or really anything you're gonna need support for. So would I recommend them? Yes, they definitely get the award for the best support out of all of these registrars. Now, if you're looking for an intuitive panel, I would say stay away from them. All right, we're gonna wrap things up with one final registrar. Now, ALP Names is basically a third-party reseller. There's a site called Reseller Club, and they offer kind of a complete package to hosts and registrars. They'll give you the website, the code to the website, and you just resell off of them. Now, what ALP Names has going is the cheapest .com domains on the market without free WHOIS protection. So it's $8.75 per year. If you want WHOIS protection, that's another 99 cents, which will bump you up to $9.74 per year for a domain with WHOIS protection. Now, the support was a disappointment. Their email support was okay, took a few hours to reply, but their live phone support is in another country. So if you're in the US, good luck even finding a phone that can call them, and if you can, you're probably gonna rack up some international charges for calling. Also, I want to note that their panel is less than desirable. It's kind of back to the same thing with Namesilho. You'll see on the screen as I'm screen recording, just not super great or elegant. So would I recommend them? Yes and no. I'm gonna say no. If you really need the cheapest price for .coms with no WHOIS protection, it won't hurt to give them a shot, but for just 25 cents more, you could go with Namesilho and get free WHOIS protection, so would not recommend ALP Names at all. Okay, so it's time to wrap things up. After all of the pros and cons, which registrar should you use? So for ease of purchase, that award goes to Namecheap. I really like how they just have everything in one spot. It's easy to get domains, hosting, but they don't shove it in your face. And the checkout process is very fluid, and they have a nice panel. For customer support, it's definitely going to Dinahdot. I was absolutely blown away with their level of detail and attention to all of my needs. You're gonna pay higher prices, but of course if you want the best support in town, you are going to be paying for that. So to some extent, you do get what you pay for, and Dinahdot is where you should go for the best support. The best panel goes to Registry. It's very intuitive and they've got a lot of bulk actions. Now best value obviously is going to Namesilho. Where else can you get a .com domain with free WHOIS protection for $8.99 a year? Definitely goes to Namesilho. So after all of that, what is my pick? What registrar do I use and do I recommend? Well, that award is going to Registry. As I've already stated, I think they're the perfect balance between price, support, and the intuitive panel. I love their smartphone app, and overall, I just think they're a cool company. So that's what I would recommend. What registrar do you use? Definitely be sure to drop a comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of this style, if you like it, if you dislike it, in the comments section. And I always remind people, if you like my videos, please be sure to subscribe. With that said, I will catch you guys next time.